So I have another question regarding manners. If manners are taught in the house or at school or in the society as a whole, then why do some people have manners and other people don't? Why are some countries more well mannered than others? Why is there a difference depending on where you go or who you speak to? Why do we not have the same cultural level? Why are we not all well mannered? Why are there differences?
I think it depends of the culture of the country in general, because the kind of the culture do the manners and the way of living are different. I think it's only is relation or is relation.
Do you think countries that have a population who obviously are more well mannered, do you think these countries are normally more successful, or do you think that having manners that does not necessarily play a part in your economic status or how good the economy is of a particular country?
I think it is any it it can it has an effect because I think it's something cultural. I suppose the big mundial potential. I'm not sure, but it isn't necessary to be a country with a high level of manners.
Do
I
you
think it's something cultural.
do you think children today growing up have manners, or do you think they are lacking manners compared to our previous generation?
I think nowadays people, the children are very spoiled,
Correct, correct, correct.
and her parents, their parents permit doing anything, and they don't have a high level of education, and they don't have good manners in general. They are very selfish and very one moment
Rude.
rude. Yes, mm, and tyrants, tyrants,
Tyrants. Okay.
tyrants.
Very interesting. Previously, discipline in schools was a lot more strict. Also in the homes, yes. Do you think that more discipline is needed or more education? What's the secret in your eyes?
Can you repeat?
Yes. So previously, 20 years ago, discipline in school was stricter than today. So the question is, what can we do to improve the manners of young people today? Is it necessary to be stricter with them and give them more discipline, or just to teach them and educate them in a different way? What is the solution?
I think the solution is to be more
Stricter. Okay.
stricter, because the problem is nowadays the child don't respect anyone,
Why?
and they don't respect her parents and they don't respect her teacher.
Okay.
They are the king.
Yeah, I agree. It's sometimes difficult. Yes, you have to be very careful how you discipline children today. But as you mentioned previously, education starts in the home and starts from there, yes, and then continues throughout their lives. So yeah, it's not easy.
No, because I remember when I was a child, my mother saw me with them one moment. Sleeping with the sleeper, sleeping me with the sleeper when I had a bad behavior.
Whoosh.
And nowadays, if you sleeping a child, you are you're going to the prison.
Well, yeah, the child can call the police on you, yes, if you
Yes,
smack them.
and I think now when you are a kid and you do something bad, yeah, I think it's necessary correct you.
Of course, I agree. I think that if you do not discipline your child, of course, everyone loves their child. Nobody wants to harm their child. But if you don't discipline your children, then they will grow up being a bad person, and then the police will discipline your child, meaning they will go to prison. Yes, not necessarily, but for example, young criminals today that steal things, they constantly sell drugs or whatever. If their parents had disciplined them, maybe they wouldn't be doing that right now. So I think that a disciplined child, or parents disciplining their children, is not short term. It should be seen as a long term investment. Of course, you have to discipline them correctly. You can't just hit them with a slipper every time something goes wrong. You have to speak to them. You have to educate them, and maybe take away their PlayStation for a few days. I don't know. But if you don't do that, then when they grow up and they make the same mistake, obviously there will be bigger consequences for them. Yes.
Yes, I remember my brother and my nephew
Uh-huh.
had coronavirus
Uh-huh.
before Christmas, and my nephew attended English class. I think 2 days a week, and they have the possibility attend the class online, and the child stayed at home because he was
Confined.
confined. And one day, my brother said that your nephew are punished. I have to punish myself because of he passed all day playing to the computer with her friends, and he didn't attend the English class.
This is typical. Yeah, this is the problem with online learning. There are so many children who are not disciplined, so they get distracted. They start playing Fortnite while they're supposed to. Exactly. They should be in English class or in science class, but they're playing Fortnite. Yes, because the parents are not there to discipline them. Number one,
Yes,
but really just to
I saw my
observe them.
nephew playing Fortnite, and I heard her
Uh-huh.
speaking English with another player.
Of course. Well, this is
It was her class.
yes, but really, if you have a son or if you have a young child who's studying from home, you really need to observe them. Yes, you need to check that they're
Yes, I
studying,
think
just
the
so they don't
problem
get
is my
distracted.
brother did a check.
There it is. Thank you very much, Anna. Excellent. Very